Hi, Diablo 3 is not worth buying. There are many flaws with it. There are many things wrong with it. As a sequel to one of the best games of all time, it just becomes a complete letdown. It's something completely different and not even close to how good the original was, or how great a sequel the franchise became. Diablo 1 was good, Diablo 2 was even better, and Diablo 3, wrong, out the window. My name is Francisco Levis. I used to be a huge Diablo 2 fan. I played it a lot. I played it like a few months ago. Still fun, nothing has changed. We were playing that prior to the release of Diablo 3, and while we were playing, there were a few things that just came out and just became noticeable to me that Diablo 3, there are many flaws with it, and it's not worth buying, and it's not that great of a game. First of all, the gameplay. Diablo 2, you were able to do so many things with your character, with your controls, but there are a few things that like slow you down. There's something called slowdowns. Every time you use a spell, you gotta wait 15, 30, even 120 seconds for this spell or this attack to become available. And not only that, you only had an option between four spells that you had on you that you can only choose, and you had of course your default left and right mouse click, which was your primary attack, left mouse, and then your secondary attack. With the cooldowns, it'll lock you to the point where you cannot even use your right click. You have to stay with your first attack, and if you use all your spells at once in order to become a little bit charged up, you have to wait until they were all ready or cooled down, all the seconds are up in order for them to use again. That was a problem. It just became tedious just doing the same thing over and over again, which was your first attack again. Not as fun. Second, you were to customize the keyboard to the point where you can like, okay, I want to set my keyboard to where it's comfortable for me, where I can actually just set all these A, S, D, F, all the keys on the keyboard to be a specific type of attack. For let's say a cold-based type of attack, fire will be my other choice. I will be able to customize it. The problem with Diablo 3 is you cannot do this, and even if you could, it's pointless because you're unable to change in the middle of a battle due to a cooldown. That will lock you from doing that. I don't know why. It's pointless, and it just doesn't work because all the spells are the same. The only thing they just work differently, so it's unnecessary. To the visuals. Diablo 3 is a beautiful game. It's beautiful. The cutscenes, they're great. They're stylized for this game specifically, and they look beautiful. The problem with it is that it becomes a performance issue. The beauty about Diablo 2, you were to install it on any computer, even on the lowest setting computer right now, like a netbook, it will still run great. So what's the problem with Diablo 3? Well, this becomes a little bit of a problem, performance issues. So you cannot run all the way up until you have a good graphics card. Second, the levels they do not be generated randomly. So at some levels they feel like they're the same. The last level, it starts at the same bridge, left and right. You know you go left first, and then before you can go right, they're all generated the same. Just a few little places are different, but overall they're the same. So you feel like you're playing the same game over and over again. 3, there's network issues. In order for you to play the game, you have to log in online onto their servers. The problem with that is that if you have a problem at your home, you cannot play the game. If there's a problem with their servers, you cannot play the game. There's performance issues, you gotta wait till the update is done, so there's a problem with that. So you become network reliable for everything just to be good enough for you to just play. Second network problem that I felt is that if you're gonna bring a new game for this modern type of gameplay for multiplayer, you need to have some form of audio, which is a headset or some form of microphone for you to talk, so you can talk with your teammates in order to have a more tactical type of gameplay. You do not have that in Diablo 3. You still have the same old text, chat text, which becomes a bit of a problem. It doesn't help. Even if the game advises you, hey, play publicly so you can make more friends, whatever. You cannot do that. It just becomes a little more of a hassle, and you cannot play tactically. 4, boss battles. The boss battles are unbalanced. The boss battles, there's 3 different types of bosses, first of all. Purple, blue, and yellow. The purple, of course, are like the last stages or part of the storyline type of players, type of like bosses. But when you play them, they don't seem strong enough. The only ones who seem strong are the yellow or the blue ones, in order to get, I guess, some form of climactic type of sense that you're fighting. After you play with all the minions, you go with these boss battles and it's really hard. Great, but when you play the stages, they just seem unbalanced. They seem very, very easy. Even when you're playing Diablo, the main character of the whole game, he's fighting you for a while, and then halfway through, you fight yourself, and then you fight him again. It's completely unnecessary. There's an idea behind it. Okay, this is supposed to be like the strongest battle, and you're supposed to fight yourself. If you're really, it's hard to fight yourself because you're good as yourself. You cannot be any better. But of course, you defeat him. It's easy, and it just becomes a tedious, of course. So you go back to gameplay: left, right click, first primary attack, and then using your other attacks. And you have to go way back and forth, so it's time consuming. It's not even fun. It's just like, okay, let's get this over with. And you even find better items with the other bosses. Again, now, not again. New and last, and one of the only main problems with the game, items. Diablo 3 is designed, I won't say designed, but it's item based. It's an item based game. You cannot, when you level up, you cannot choose where to level up, like a Diablo 2 or the first one, where you can want to, okay, I don't see this necessary, I'll just level up here, 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 where it'll help my character with my attacks. You can't do that. It does it for you automatically, so when you level up, it's like, and all the attacks are all the same. That's why you can only choose between 4 of them. And so how do you get better? How do you feel like you've improved? You don't. The only thing you feel like, oh, okay, I got a better item. That's the only way you feel like you're better. So what's the problem with the items? Well, you have to find them, and they're really hard to find a good, decent item. The other main problem is the auction house. They have this little way for you to trade items or make some form of profit. Diablo 2, there was an item-based system which worked great, but I guess what Blizzard found out was sort of like a problem is that there were other people making money out of the items that they found and selling back on their websites, whatever. I guess Blizzard wants a cut of that. Apparently they said, oh look, there's an item-based economy in this game. So instead of having the player, let's make it have a hard time leveling up and playing all the time, and in order for him to get any better, feeling better, is through items. So we're going to make this item-based game. They did. It's just completely wrong, I think, and to be honest, it doesn't work. And as a sequel, as so much anticipation for a better game, it doesn't. It just takes a completely different direction where you're like, okay, I gotta spend more time collecting gold, whatever, or spending real money to purchase or acquire this item. Apparently the game, which costs $60, is not worth $60. They're like, this isn't good enough, so spend more money. So that's one of the main problem with Diablo 3. Even though they give you all these options, like, okay, your character has this and this and this, there's like a full list of things that, like, mathematically that help your character, or tells you where you can improve or how many percentage you have or where your strong and weaknesses are. But it doesn't matter. You cannot adjust it when you level up. The only thing you can do is just acquire a better item. That's the only problem with the game. So to be honest, Diablo 3 is not worth it. The gameplay is just boring and tedious. Left, right, left, whatever, and then your 4 little options. You can't customize it. It's not an update to the sequel. Networking wise, you don't have a headset. You cannot talk. It's not tactical. Third, it looks great, but to be honest, it comes at a price. To be honest, go back to Diablo 2. You have a more fun time. Boss battles, it's unbalanced, and the item-based system just completely just nails it down. And you think that even though you pay $60, it's not enough. And to be quite honest, I don't think it's even worth $60 at this point. It's not even worth $40. So to be quite honest, don't buy this game. It's not worth it. There are many flaws with it. While you play, you'll come across them all the time, and you will not have fun at all as a game or some form of fun. It's out the window. Just spend more money, spend more time getting an item. So thanks for listening.